I am your host, Suzanne Moak, host of the one and only Trump Talk Live Periscope podcast here on Periscope, which, if it ever stops freezing, would be great. But we're going to keep trying. Welcome to the show. We've started this a few times. We're going to start this one again. There has been some interesting developments in the campaign, and of course, we're going to bring all that to you. I want to start with an incident that occurred at the Las Vegas Trump rally this week. A British citizen here in the country illegally attempted to assassinate Donald J. Trump by grabbing an officer's gun at the rally. The young man, 19 years old, claims to have driven all the way from California, took gun classes, went to the gun range and practiced shooting. Had never fired a gun before, practiced shooting so that he could assassinate Trump with his plan that he would grab an officer's gun and shoot Trump. And probably, according to police, he said probably get himself killed. Luckily for him, he did not get himself killed. And he did not manage to shoot Donald Trump. So, it's a dangerous world out there. There are some very, very crazy people. Luckily, the Las Vegas Police Department was able to take him into custody and handle that immediately. And we greatly appreciate our law enforcement. And we ask everyone at Trump rallies to keep your eyes open. If you see something funny, say something immediately. Don't be afraid to bring it up. We have to be vigilant. Very, very important. So, let's talk about Hillary Clinton was endorsed by the AFL-CIO on the same day in which the United States had the worst trade deficit on record. So, obviously the unions are not in any way choosing political policies that help their workers, which is why internal polls in the AFL-CIO show that about 60 to 70% of union workers intend to vote for Donald Trump. They have started massive internal advertising campaigns to try to convince the workers to vote for Hillary Clinton. But you know what? Union workers don't want Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton has supported things like NAFTA and other trade deals that have certainly undermined the American worker because we don't enforce our trade deals. We're going to talk about Lewandowski just a minute. So, what I will say about that, very interesting day for the records to come out and the AFL-CIO to endorse Hillary Clinton. But expect their voters and their workers to support one Donald J. Trump. And we're glad to have you, aren't we? Let's talk about this campaign shift. Everyone's all freaked out. Oh my gosh, Trump fired Corey. What's going on? Trump's not raising money. Oh! You guys stop listening to the media. You have to stop listening to the media. They are absolutely crazy and obsessed. They have lost their mind. And we're going to talk about the plan to trip up the convention in just a second. But this is the latest thing. Look, we're going into the general campaign. Corey Lewandowski was a fantastic primary campaign manager. He did an excellent job when there were repeated victories every single week. When there were all sorts of candidates. He did a great job on a tiny little budget. But now we have several months and one election. Not 50 elections coming up. 50 plus because Samoa and all of the different territories or whatever. One in November. And we have to win at that election, which means we have to operate on the next level. Exactly. So the next level requires a brand new strategy and someone who operates that strategy efficiently. Paul Manafort is that person. He's operated on the Ford campaign, the Reagan campaign, Bush 2, all over in different countries. He is an expert at operating the finishing game. So, that's what we do. You don't start the baseball game with the same pitcher that you close with. Not often, very rarely. And so, in this case, just like many other campaigns, it is time for Corey to move on. And Corey has gracefully moved on. Now, was there some internal tension? Yes, probably. Everybody's job has some internal tension, but the media is focusing entirely on that and ignoring the fact that This is something that campaigns do all the time. So, we're going to do a little special about I'm not going to go on too much because we're going to do a little special Trump Talk special edition, campaign management. Right after this, we're going to talk about Paul Manafort, talk about the great job Corey Lewandowski did. So, we'll get back into that. But let me talk a little bit about this hubbubaloo everyone's talking about. They're trying to start at the convention with releasing the delegates to not be bound even on the first ballot. You guys, Donald Trump has said, if you've watched his recent speeches, that is a hoax started by the liberal media. You know what? I looked it up. It is a hoax started by the liberal media. Andrew Romano of the Daily Beast is the first one who came up with this idea that, in fact, it is legal for the delegates to vote their conscience and not actually be bound despite the rules that are already in place. And he is now surprised when some never-Trumpers actually are on board with it. And so he keeps reporting on the story he made up himself. Andrew Romano, look it up. Yeah, there you go. He is the West Coast correspondent for Yahoo News. Which goes to show you, when you use these search engines, you guys, you got to scroll. If you don't believe me, just put in Clinton and click the news tab, and then put in Trump and click the news tab. And what you will find is Clinton's doing great and Trump is doing awful. That's not the facts, people. That's not the facts. And let's talk about the polls a minute before we move on to the best of the Trump train. In the battleground states, Trump is still kicking butt, you guys. Florida, 44% to 42.6%. Trump, 42.6%, but within a very small margin, within the margin of error. Ohio, the same way, 42 to 41. Margin of error. North Carolina, Trump leads, 44 to 43%. Colorado, Trump. New Hampshire, tie. In these battleground states, in states that Romney lost, Trump is doing very well. Additionally, he's doing very well in states like New Jersey. In other states, he's doing much better than Republicans have in the past, and he's going to make Hillary going to spend a lot of money in those states. So, don't listen to the polls when they tell you that Hillary's doing so great. In fact, they're doing poorly, and this is why they keep hitting Trump all day long. Upcoming rallies. There's an interesting rally coming up. Donald Trump will be speaking in Turnberry, Scotland. Is a golf course there, obviously. And that is Friday the 24th at 10 a.m., I'm assuming Scotland time, which I calculated for everybody. That's 5 a.m. Central Time, 6 a.m. Eastern Time, 3 a.m. Pacific Time, obviously 4 a.m. Mountain Time. So if you're up, I'm sure they will be covering it live, streaming on rsbn.tv. You can take a look at it there. If not, they'll probably have it for you to watch when you wake up, because that's very early. But there it is. There's a rally. Let's do Best of the Trump Train. I have two Best of the Trump Trains today, because I like to do Trump signs. Now, here's this awesome Trump sign that's all lit up. This is made by a man who does light up signs. This time was actually stolen in March and not recovered, although he can make another one for you for $250. They're not that expensive. Pretty nice, right? Additionally, this sign, and I'm going to post this on the Facebook page, the Trump Talk US Facebook page. This is on the top of, you can see the little bitty cars down there. So this is the top of a big kind of building, one of those big prefab buildings in a warehouse sort of situation. And there's a video, actually a drone flying over, so you can see just exactly how big that Trump sign is. So I'll put that on the website, and everybody can take a look at that. Let's do my Trump reason of the day before we go. Trump reason of the day. Family. Trump has a wonderful family. You can see his wonderful family, his wonderful Jewish son-in-law, his daughter, his kids. He's done a great job bridging the gap between different marriages. But he understands the value of family, and that's something that Americans also understand. And one of the things we see in the wake of Orlando is how many people have come together, coming together as a family, as Americans, as the American family. And one thing I've noticed on the Trump train is if you support Trump, when you meet another Trump supporter, it's like you've met a long lost cousin or sibling. We are all family on the Trump train, and they want to talk about. There's so much hate and division in Trump and in his supporters, and I've never met anything other than love and support, regardless if you are black, white, Hispanic, Christian, Jewish, Muslim, Sikh, gay, lesbian, transgendered. I actually have all of these different kinds of people as friends on my Trump feeds, and they're wonderful people, and we all care a great deal about each other because we all love America. And I think that's what Donald Trump is doing, is he is bringing the American family back together again. And the haters will eventually come back around like the prodigal children that they are. So, God bless it. In fact, you are absolutely correct. And we're going to continue to, what's really important is we continue to share information here online, making sure that we get the word out and spread the information that's valid, because we have to vet our own information now, because the media is certainly not going to do that. You can reach me if you haven't followed me already. Follow me at Trumpetarian on Twitter. This is where you can email us. And all of our videos, current and past, can be found at www.trumptalk.us. That's our YouTube channel. You can also find us at Trump Talk US on Facebook. And I'm Suzanne Monk. And this is Little Trumpy. He lost his hat, but he still loves America. Tune in for right after this, we're going to do a special on campaign management and talk about the Corey Lewandowski, Paul Manafort shift. But thanks for tuning in, everybody, and for viewing later. Excuse me. Go Trump.